This call is being recorded.
Welcome to A Diary of a Fashionista, everyone. For those of you who were looking for Ask When, I'm happy to say it's back up and running, and I feel badly for the Android users out there and the Samsung Note users out there. I didn't even realize until I looked this afternoon. Hello, we're not even in Google Podcast, and our old feed is in Google Podcast. So I submitted that to Google Podcast and shared it with Danielle. So sorry about that. I feel so bad for the Android users out there, you guys. I'm like, what? Well, yeah, you guys are like, I'm using Google Podcast and I can't find Ask When. I'm like, oops, oops, oops. The only reason why I know about Android and podcasting is because of my aide, but I'm like, no, I, we can't not be everywhere, and we cannot be in Google Podcast. The only reason why I know is because I went to fill in the destinations on Google on Libsyn, and it said put Google Podcast, and I'm like, Google Podcast? We don't even have a link. And so I quickly went over to Google Podcast and made sure we were in there, but we're not. So I'm waiting for that. But for those of you who are on the lovely side of Apple, just to if you're seeing old episodes, and I renamed it instead of the Ask When podcast. I renamed it Ask When. It should be if you type in Ask When, the black and white and gold cover with Ask When should pop up, and just refresh the feed. And now, if you guys don't stand in the lovely Apple Podcast um, app, you may just have to upgrade your system because now with iOS Catalina, iOS 13 and iOS everything else, and with Catalina, they have made it a totally different program. They split apart from iTunes to Apple Podcast to Apple TV. So, if you're not in the beta program for Catalina, you're on the Apple side. Um, I don't know. I know just to refresh your feed everywhere, and that's how Danielle and I got it this morning. And she's still in iTunes, where iTunes combine music and podcasting. I, on the other hand, am in Catalina, so I don't have the option of music and podcasting. I have music as a program, Apple Podcast as a program. I keep wanting to call it iTunes, you guys, but that's the update on that. So rejoice. You're probably going, yay win, yay Danielle, because we spent, oh, I'm not telling you how many hours spent transferring the feed. I'm not, I'm not going there. And when, even my stepmom said good luck with the project today, and like, oh, you don't even want to know technical issues. I'm not even going now how many hours we spent back and forth with Simplecast and Lipson, and Lipson was more helpful than Simplecast. So we got it all figured out. And Jesus, you guys, when we turned the dang thing back on, we get 1,000 downloads later. And it's like, okay, someone missed Ask When. Someone was missing their dose of Ask When. So, okay. And the next programming announcement, um, on November 1, which happens to be my dad, it will be my dad's 69th birthday. And of course, as you guys know, he passed away in May. Would have been his 69th birthday. We're going to do a double episode and this episode that we'll be recording today will also go on the Aswin feed. And so, we're doing a double episode on November 1 about what the future holds for myself and Danielle. Mine as of last Wednesday, October 3rd, just got a little bit more complicated. And that's all I'll say about that. I'll go back and backdate you guys and explain what happened on October 3rd so you guys understand what happened. And yeah, so we have to wait on that because I have to get a few more things in place until I could tell you. I even asked my well, he is my lawyer. I even asked my lawyer at one point. I said, after the court case resigned, yes, I said court case because that's what I was doing on Wednesday, and I'll leave it at that. But I said after the court case resigned, I even cornered him. I said, should I wait or should I tell this publicly? And he goes, I would wait. And this is the wise M. Kent Olson, who's been on Ask When talking about trust funds in general. And we even put it on the Diary of a Fashionista feed. And unbeknownst to me, he listened to a couple other interviews, and he even asked me, how's your podcast going? So under his direction, I'm going to wait at until November 1 to explain what's going on. And you guys would be shocked what I had to put up with on Wednesday. So we're going to have a little bit of a trust fund lesson with me and with Danielle. And it's all going to be good, but we still have to wait until I can say it publicly. But enough of my programming announcements, enough of Ask When, enough of what the future holds. Danielle's laughing at me because she's like, come on, Win. Yeah. So today, and I have no idea what this interview is going to entail, I have asked Danielle because so many people know about breast cancer. They know about prostate cancer. At one point, we thought my dad had prostate cancer, but they don't know very much about lung cancer. And so I've asked my BFF to interview me to raise awareness on lung cancer. And yes, the awareness color, um, just just to let you guys know, March is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. Um, and the color for that is green. The color for lung cancer is white. I don't know how you can combine those two colors together. Um, and I noticed on the Cerebral Palsy ribbon, they have white writing on the ribbon itself. So I don't know how we're going to combine those two. I need to look up when Lung Cancer Awareness Month is, and I'll get back to you guys on that because we might do a throwback Thursday episode during Lung Cancer Awareness Month because, and if anyone out there on both sides of the Diary of a Fashionista all ask when know someone that survived lung cancer. Thank you very much. Send them my way. Send them my way because I really, really, really want to interview them. And yeah, I really, really want to interview them. I think enough with the breast cancer, even though breast cancer is a very significant cancer, and even though it's impacted my life and also childhood cancer, I personally think that lung cancer needs to come out of the woodwork a little bit more because when my dad was diagnosed, we didn't know what the heck to do. We didn't know what the heck to do, and we were setting up oncology appointments for him in Denver, and he was about to receive treatment that next week. So, with my brief experience with lung cancer, via my dad, I need to now interview someone um, who survived lung cancer because I feel like I need to do the world of lung cancer, the world of all cancers, including lung, um, justice. I feel like I do enough work for the world of cerebral palsy. I feel like I need to reach out and tackle lung cancer. So if anyone knows of anyone who's survived lung cancer, please, 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 please send them our way. And Danielle, maybe you can do a little bit of research. I mean, I can probably do a little bit of research myself, like I have time anymore to do research. Um, but I really want to raise awareness on lung cancer. And that being said, I'm going to let Danielle take it away.
How did you know that your dad had lung cancer before anyone else?
I knew because, as I said, he was taking care of me since 2010, and I didn't know what he had exactly, but I knew he had cancer because I knew. See, and this is gonna make me cry, so excuse me as I well up a little bit if I can muster to speak without tears. I knew that he had some sort of cancer because I could tell the way he was acting. He stood, and I remember it vividly too, the way my house is set up. There's the living room, the kitchen, and it's it's quite similar to Danielle's mom's house down in Carbondale, Colorado. And so when you have a living room, a kitchen, and then bedrooms are downstairs, practically, um, I remember him walking up those stairs from the doctors, and they send him to the hospital after his doctor's visits. They actually sent him to the emergency room after the doctor visits he went to himself. And I remember him nonchalantly standing in my kitchen saying, "It may be my heart, it may be my lungs." And I'm like, bingo, bingo. And what set this all off is he he said, "I love you when," he used to say, "I love you when," very strongly, as if he didn't have lung cancer. Well, the week before he went into the hospital, his voice started getting weaker and weaker and weaker, which means only one thing: the mast was pushing on his lungs. And so he could barely even speak on the phone. He could barely speak to me. He could barely speak to my stepmom, his fiance. So, and my stepsister too. So I knew before anyone else because I could tell. I especially could tell the night he was helping me get ready for bed, and he had to sit down to literally on the edge of my bed where I'm sitting now. Um, I was scooted up towards pillows, and he literally had to sit down to catch his breath to continue on. So I knew we all knew something was wrong, and then that next week, all heck broke loose, and yeah, all heck broke loose that next week, and we did an episode. If you guys want to go back, I think it's on. I know it's on Ask Win. How love is helping Wynn's dad, and we did an episode, Danielle and I, on that specific where I was, what's going on. And so, if you guys want to go back and listen to it, it's still on the Ask Win feed. And of course, the Ask Win feed is back up on Bunny. And so, I knew because I knew this gentle giant before I got sick. So, I also knew the characteristics changing. I mean, he was white as a ghost. He was white as a ghost because he couldn't breathe. And what they told us was it was stage 4, and of course he didn't die of stage 4 lung cancer. He, like my mom, died of a completely different disease than he originally went into the hospital slash nursing home with. I mean, he died of a heart attack, and I couldn't resuscitate him. So I knew just because of um how his attitude was changing, how his mannerisms were changing. So if you, and yes, they can, because I've asked the doctor about this. Yes, they can test you for lung cancer, but you need to be of a certain age. You need to be of a certain age, older in your 50s, and you need to be a smoker, believe it or not, because lung cancer, smoking causes lung cancer. And a lot of people ask me, and they still do to this day. Actually, I kind of put it to the side now that they know exactly what he died of. But a lot at the beginning, a lot of people asked me, "Did your dad smoke?" And the only thing he smoked was marijuana. And I actually looked it up. Does the combination of marijuana and drywall, does the combination of smoking marijuana cause lung cancer? And scientists are starting to do research on that. And I said to the person who was here with me, I knew it because he smoked marijuana. Now, granted, we're in a legal marijuana state of Colorado. So he smoked marijuana day in, day out. And I believe that in a combination of, and he was dealing with drywall since 82. 82, he got off the road. 1982, he got off the road after touring and starting his own company, Aspen Audio Inc. And so, and I believe with a combination of smoking in his teens, then giving it up, then doing the drywall and asbestos and everything else, and because these workmen don't wear masks. I repeated that several times on this podcast. The workmen don't wear masks, so fat chance they're keeping their lungs healthy. And I was even asked with him in the room, by a doctor up here, Mr. Charles, have you been around drywall and asbestos? Cough, cough. I had to say no, and he got mad at me because I wanted to say yes. I wanted to let the cat out of the bag. I wanted to get him transferred to a bigger hospital myself because I knew it was cancer all the way along. But AVH said he has a shadow on his lungs and that's it. And I'm like, seriously, AVH? Aspen Valley Hospital. And so I'm like, seriously, he has cancer and you guys are not diagnosing it. So basically, what I am saying is when you see something suspicious in a man or woman, just send them to the doctor with support. With support. I mean, it doesn't have to be, they don't, and my dad didn't want my stepmom to be in the ambulance with him. He was so stubborn, God love him. But so he wanted my stepmom to be home with me. But that me was his number one concern. So I think that if you notice something, because a lot of people do smoke, but for this testing, you have to be in the older age bracket um, to get tested. And trust me, I wanted to get tested myself. But when the doctor told me that, I'm like, no way. And so a lot of people think that lung cancer comes from smoking a pack a day. And scientists, as I said, are starting to do research on marijuana. And then, but lung cancer comes from, because I looked it up immediately the day after he was diagnosed. I'm like, how in the heck did he get this diagnosis at age 58? And so I looked it up. And what happened was drywall dust over the years developed into cancer, and that sent him down the spiral. So I knew he had cancer before anyone else did. And so, yeah, that's how I know.
When did you learn that your dad had lung cancer?
I learned on, well, let's backtrack this, you guys. Um, backtracking with me. I learned that my dad had lung cancer. The 12th was Mother's Day when we got the call that we should come down. I seriously think the poor guy got ESP from his doctors, and he called us, my stepsister, my stepmom, and myself, and we were all out celebrating Mother's Day because he was in the hospital. And so we got the call on Mother's Day, May 12th, 2019, and we spun into action as quick as we could. We got down there late on May. The 13th was Monday. The 14th was Tuesday. He got diagnosed Wednesday. Wednesday by about 11. Well, my stepsister and my stepmom went to the hospital about 9 a.m. By 11 a.m., heck had broke loose, and we were making phone calls and trying to figure out my next move slash my stepsister's next move slash my mom's next move, and that was on Wednesday, the 15th of May, 2019.
How did you help your dad?
Well, well, that is a interesting story. Yeah, because every and I shouldn't say this, every time I medical and me do not mix. Medical and me do not mix because I was so used to a guy that was 6'2" and with a full head of gray hair. Thank you very much. And I wasn't used to this person needing help to go to the bathroom and needing help. So I, of course, he went into this mode of I don't want to see anyone on the on Wednesday the 15th when he was diagnosed. And so I was back in the hotel. And so I really couldn't help him and I couldn't do anything. I just wanted I at that point said to him on Thursday, um, May 16th, that you look good. We're going to get through this. And yeah, that was it. Because when a mask is pushing on your lungs, everything takes energy to do anything and everything. And I was so used to this guy giving me hugs that I asked for a hug at one point. And of course, um, he said it takes energy. And this was when he was home too. And so, I, when I thought about it, on Thursday, on Thursday, May 16th, when I went to visit him, he goes, "Wait, I haven't given you a hug yet." And this is how mean I get. This is how mean I get. I said, "Dude, I'm on my way to dinner. I'm on my way to dinner. And you can't stop me from going to dinner because of a hug." And I remember the flashback of us being home, and he goes, "A hug takes energy." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're sitting in a hospital bed, you can't move, and you can barely walk, and they just helped you to the bathroom, and now you want to be Mr. Nice Guy and give me a hug? Yeah, that's that's a little mean spirited right there." And I knew he was dying, so I knew he was going to die of a heart attack because when you're in a weakened state like that, you can't necessarily control your own body. And so I was doing the grieving process before anyone else. So me just giving the dying a hug didn't help because I was going to burst into tears. I mean, he was dying, you guys, dying in that um hospital slash dying in that rehab center, God forbid. And so I wanted nothing to do, and it's interesting. I as I said last week, I am going to counseling, and I had my first counseling session, which went extremely well, by the way, and thank you very much. And I had that the day after my court case, and so it went well. And my counselor goes, "It sounds like you've had a lot of trauma." And I'm like, "You think? You think?" And my aide who was sitting there goes, "Well, I can't even tell you what this child has gone through. I mean, I have seen through the stick and the thin. I mean now, but I you think, and I want to make a good relationship with my stepmom, my stepsister, my BFF, and my aide. But those are the only two. Those are the only people I can rely on. I can't rely on my blood family. My blood family turned on me, and I'll get to why on November 1. And so I really can't rely on my blood family, not even my dad's family. Sad, but it's the truth. So I want to create a good, solid, nice relationship with those who I with those who I can trust and with those who I can rely on because of I my trust factor is a little low right now. I can't rely on my family. I can barely rely on my mom's family, let alone my dad's family. And so I want to um, rely on those who I can rely on. And the aide who's with me today, I feel like I can build a relationship with her. It's going to take a little while. I'm blessed to be on the road to recovery, and um, the way I'm doing it is I am seeing a licensed counselor, and I just hope that you guys support me and don't necessarily stigmatize me, which it sounds like you guys haven't necessarily stigmatized me. And I'm slowly but surely getting, I'm choosing to get back on the social media that I want to because they have done studies over the years how social media is bad for your health, and I believe it. I I truly believe that WhatsApp, Facebook, and everything else under the sun, except for podcasting, because that's not necessarily social media. You're not staring at the screen day in, day out, wondering who's going to like this comment, who is going to love this comment. I mean, my biological mom hate, hated Facebook, and she didn't want me to be on it to begin with. So now I'm off it completely and I feel better and that's my choice. But I'm slowly um sneak onto Twitter. I'm definitely off WhatsApp. I mean my my family uses WhatsApp to basically not be kind to me. Let's just say that. And my support system knows that that's happening, but I also told my support system why I am slowly off social media because social media is bad for you. I mean, it's bad for you. You think social media is great. Well, social media is bad. It's just bad in general and it's just icky. It's just icky and I don't want to be on that toxic and I call it toxic social media. So I'm slowly but surely taking myself off social media and trying to do what I can with what my life circumstances hold because family and me are family's not number one in my life. I mean, my biological family can listen to this and then balk and squawk at me, but they're not they're not coming out here to help. They're not coming out here to help. And they're not coming out here. They, well, they said something, which I'll get to on November 1. They said something in court on Wednesday, and I'll get to that statement when we do the full episode. But it surprised me. It surprised me what they said, and then they tell me another thing on WhatsApp, and I haven't had communications with my family since then because I don't want to be put in the position where I throw anyone underneath the bus, especially the people that I trust. So that's my situation on that.
Was hard for you to think every day when you were in school?
Was it hard? Was it hard for me to breathe? Yeah, that's why I'm taking a semester off. Jeez, that's why I'm not going back to school until January because now I am taking time for me, resorting my life out because I hit the ground running, you guys. I literally hit the ground running. I came home May 18th. He died May 19th. And so school started, the Academy of Arts started on June 3rd. So I had no breathing room, and I'm sorry, but I will never be doing that again, especially when someone dies. I mean, you can't. You need to take time for yourself. A little late, okay, a little late to the counseling and getting mental health party here, and so yeah, and so that's why I'm actually going back to school in January, and that's why I'm also going back starting my life again in January just because and finishing a journalism degree this time, not dropping out of one. And so I am really excited about that, but I'm also grateful for the time I'm taking now, grateful to be on the blessing of mental recovery because as I said, I wish this started in 2010. I wish my dad believed in it. And yeah, he didn't believe in it. So it's better late than never to start it. But if you have someone who is suffering, my advice would be to get them support, go with them to whatever they need to do, go with them. You heard me interview John M. of Sober Speaks. Go with them to Al-Anon. Go with them to Alcoholics Anonymous. Go with them to counseling. Just support them and try and get them over the humps of life. I mean, now we're dealing with the humps of life, and now we're dealing with the humps of baggage. Well, me personally, I'm dealing with the humps of baggage from 9 years ago. I mean, I think I'm a little bit late, but it's better late than never to start this and to start all over what I wanted to start in 2010.
How did you keep calm?
How did, how did I keep calm? How did I keep calm the day my dad died? I don't think I kept. I don't. And since I'm apologized, um, I don't think I kept calm. I kept calm, because I had 10 gazillion people in and out of this house, including Danielle. And so, it's, I don't think I kept calm because I know that morning I didn't keep calm, and I know that morning I didn't keep calm, but I managed to keep calm. But granted, I was unloading in my counseling session to my counselor that I reflected on some of the things I said in that counseling session last week, and it didn't work out so well. And so now I'm switching my goals around, and I'm going to know. But I get so stuck in my ways. I was always told, no, you don't need counseling, you don't need counseling, you don't need counseling, that it's not even funny. And so now that I'm actually in counseling, I'm like, counseling is the best thing since sliced bread. But you just need the support from your loved ones to actually go. And I don't care if you're able bodied and don't want to drive yourself. Just take a moment to breathe. And I am not saying that counseling is the best for every situation, but in my situation, counseling is what works, and I'm doing it slowly but surely. And so, and so I think what, and just support though those with lung cancer, and just support those with all cancers, and for those who need blood transfusions during chemo, and because chemo, what I do know is it attacks every cell in your body. And so for those who need blood transfusions, when you guys go donate blood, I can't donate blood. I'm too skinny to donate blood. Slash, I can't donate my own blood. I'm O positive or something like that, some unique blood type. But I just ask them if you can donate blood for cancer patients, because kids get affected more by leukemia than they do anything else. But these adults are now getting affected by lung cancer, and what we didn't know in the 80s is now coming back to bite us in the butt. And what we didn't know about wearing masks, dealing with drywall, is now coming back to bite us in the butt, all of us, because you guys know, those of you who are old enough have seen these construction guys working around without masks. And so that's what I would have to say about that. I mean, wear a mask, support loved ones, and do what you can to keep yourself healthy. And you can shoot me for this one, but I'm not getting a flu shot this year um, because I am working remotely. That's the only reason that's the only reason why I'm not getting a flu shot this year. Up up until this up until this year, I have gotten every single shot known to man, and up until this year, I am not anti-vaxxer by any means. I am just choosing, because I'm working remotely, not to get a flu shot and not to feel like I have the flu. And so But for those of you who are in education and who are working with kids, don't take the advice of a retired educator. Don't take the advice of a retired educator. Do what you think is best, and most likely, don't take the advice of anti-vaxxer either, because you never know what those gummy Sunny Nose Kids would bring, especially like Danielle, if you're a clown, don't take my advice and get the flu shot, because I don't want you guys getting stuck with pneumonia, and that's why I'm away from people this year. I am away from people. I am becoming a hermit more and more in my retirement, and I am becoming a hermit more and more in my retirement, and because I can't, because I have luxury of working remotely. Slash, I have the luxury of having the support I need where I don't necessarily have to work, although I want to, and I want to make money off of it. So even though I'm retired from book publishing, although you never know, a book may pop up on my end, but I will certainly let you guys know if it does. And so I am a hermit, and I love it, and that's what that's what I have to say. And I love being a retired educator. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, yeah, but I still support the educators. I still support if you ever want to get sage advice from me on education, don't hesitate to ask, you guys. And I am a big believer in alternative education, because I don't like the public school system. I think the public school system is a little stuck in the 90s, and we can't get it to 2019. But with alternative education, i.e., homeschooling, i.e., private schooling, it's better than no education at all. Although I'm a big proponent of lifelong learning, like a podcast, so it's completely up to you guys. But do you want to lead everyone out, Danielle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 More. More. Yeah.
Well, thanks you guys for following us, and I hope you guys enjoy Ask When. I'm going to try to get everything up and rolling for Ask When. And yeah, I'm going to try and get everything up and rolling for Ask When. Now, since we got everything up and rolling, and it should be either under the Ask When podcast or just type in Ask When. And for those of you who already subscribe, to just refresh feeds wherever you listen. And so, yeah, thanks for following us. Yes, bye, you guys.
Bye.